As a global community, we are experiencing a digital transformation that connects us but also divides us. It is also inseparably intertwined with emerging social issues. To build sustainable and peaceful futures in times of challenge, we need to forge a new social contract for education, contributing to and going beyond the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. As mentioned in the UNESCO report, we need to take urgent action together to address and rectify disruptions while prospering our lives in the digital era and reinventing our futures. The 7th International Conference on GCED will discuss the mixed effects of digital transformation and how GCED should address issues that arise in the digital era. There will also be a special session to share the progress of and gather opinions on the revision of UNESCO's 1974 recommendation. We invite all global citizens to co-create strategies to reinvent GCED for just and peaceful societies.
Welcome to the 7th International Conference on Global Citizenship Education, live streamed from Seoul, the Republic of Korea. I'm Jung-min Aum from the Asia Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding under the auspices of UNESCO, also known as APCERU or APCEU. Before we proceed with the conference, we, the organizers of the conference, would like to extend our heartfelt prayers and condolences to those that lost their loved ones over the tragic stampede in Itaewon, Seoul last weekend, which took the lives of so many people and left others with grave injuries. For those who lost their lives and their loved ones over this tragic incident, we would like all of the speakers and the audience to join us in a brief moment of silence. Thank you for joining. It is indeed not just the loss of lives over the tragic incident, this time in South Korea, but also all the loss of lives over various forms of violence and disasters around the world that we have to mourn and honor. In this time of great sorrow and loss, it was encouraging and thankful to receive heartfelt condolences and prayers from around the world. Realizing, once again, the power of solidarity in difficult times, we hope that this conference will be yet another opportunity for us to strengthen our solidarity for one another around the world. Now, let us begin the 7th International Conference on Global Citizenship Education, co-organized by APCEU, the Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Korea, in partnership with the UNESCO. This annual conference is known to be a platform for interested educators, policymakers, and experts to discuss, share, and learn to improve their understanding and practice of global citizenship education. The theme of this year's conference is Global Citizenship Education in the Face of Digital Transformation that Connects and Divides. This may resonate with all of us, given the unexpected pressure to use digital technology during the pandemic. But this still continues. The rapid changing environment urges us to build a new relationship with technology. With the newly emerged issues such as hate speech, disinfodemic, digital citizenship, to name a few, global citizenship education needs to explore ways to build a relationship with the digital transformation beyond the simple discussion of opportunities and challenges. This conference will discuss a range of these complex issues and share ideas and good practices as well. In addition, there will be a special session on the revision of UNESCO's 1974 recommendation. Now, let us begin the opening session. First, I would like to invite the Honorable Mr. Jang Sang-yoon, the Vice Minister of Education, the Republic of Korea, to pronounce his opening remarks.
안녕하십니까. 대한민국 교육부 차관 장상윤입니다. 우선 지난 주말 이태원에서 발생한 안타까운 사고로 목숨을 잃은 분들의 명복을 빕니다. 유가족께도 깊은 애도와 위로의 말씀을 드립니다. 부상을 당하신 분들의 빠른 쾌유를 바랍니다. 오늘부터 7번째 세계시민교육 국제회의를 시작합니다. 자리를 빛내주신 이상화 외교부 공공외교대사님과 콘드커 모함마드 탈하 주 유네스코 방글라데시 대표부 대사님, 멀리서 인사를 전해주신 스테파니아 지아니니 유네스코 사무총장 보님, 그리고 참석해주신 모든 분께 감사와 환영의 인사를 드립니다. 또한 이번 행사의 성공적 개최를 위해 애써주신 임현묵 유네스코 아태교육원 원장님과 직원 여러분께도 특별히 감사의 마음을 전합니다. 대한민국은 2015년 인천 세계교육포럼을 계기로 평화, 인권, 문화 다양성 등의 보편적 가치를 이해하고 실천하는 시민 양성이라는 세계 시민 교육의 확산을 위해 노력해 왔으며, 이러한 노력을 국제사회와 공유하기 위해 2016년부터 세계 시민교육 국제회의를 개최하고 있습니다. 이번 7차 회의에서는 디지털 시대의 세계 시민교육을 주제로 디지털 전환을 맞이하여 세계 시민교육의 가능성과 도전 과제를 탐구하고 앞으로의 방향을 논의할 예정입니다. 가속화되고 있는 일상 곳곳의 디지털화로 우리는 더욱 편리한 삶과 많은 기회를 누리게 되었지만, 동시에 디지털 격차 심화와 과도한 정보로 인한 혼란과 같은 다양한 문제에 직면하고 있습니다. 이러한 문제들을 해결하기 위해서 포용, 존중, 공동체 의식 등의 가치를 다시금 확인하고 디지털 시민성, 미디어 리터러시 등 디지털 시대에 맞는 역량을 지원하는 세계 시민 교육의 확산이 무엇보다도 중요하다고 생각합니다. 대한민국 역시 이러한 인식 아래 유네스코 아태교육원과 협력하여 디지털 시민성 교육 자료를 개발하고 미디어 리터러시에 대한 청년 대화의 장을 마련하는 등 디지털 시대 세계 시민 교육이 그 역할을 다하도록 다방면으로 노력해 왔습니다. 이 자리에 참여해 주신 여러분 역시 디지털 시대 세계 시민 교육의 역할과 과제에 대해 많은 관심을 가지고 계신 것으로 알고 있습니다. 이번 행사가 서로의 경험을 공유하고 의미 있는 시사점을 도출할 수 있는 유익한 자리가 되기를 기대합니다. 감사합니다.
We thank the Honorable Mr. Chang for his insightful remarks. Now, I would like to invite His Excellency Mr. Lee Sang-hwa, the Ambassador and Deputy Minister for Public Diplomacy, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Korea. Please warmly welcome him.
Before delivering my opening remarks, let me join the previous speakers in expressing my sincere gratitude for the expression of condolences and solidarity in regard to the tragic incident in Seoul. Let me begin my opening remarks. Distinguished guests and colleagues, I warmly welcome all of you to the 7th International Conference on Global Citizenship Education. I highly value the long-standing partnership with UNESCO, which is the joint organizer of this event. My special thanks go to the UNESCO Asia Pacific Center of the Education for International Understanding, whose tireless efforts were instrumental in making this event possible. Coming on the heels of the Transforming Education Summit held on the margins of the UN General Assembly, the theme of this year's conference, global citizenship education in the face of digital transformation that connects and divides is timely and relevant. Indeed, education in the era of digital transformation has come with two phases, opportunity and challenge. Digital transformation enhanced connectivity and empowered people with quality education. At the same time, however, coupled with the long-spelled COVID-19 pandemic, the global digital divide was exacerbated as many countries fall far behind in digital transition. Against this backdrop, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for particular attention on the double-sidedness of digital technology at the Transforming Education Summit. We have to take his warning seriously that education is fast becoming a great divider instead of being a great enabler. We have seen an increasingly disturbing trend of hate speech, discrimination, and disinfodemic. So let's be clear-eyed about our objectives. It is critically important to address the challenges with a sense of urgency and expand opportunities to promote global citizenship education in the era of digital transformation. Fully aware of the importance of promoting universal values such as humanism, tolerance, and respect for diversity, the Korean government has been annually hosting an international conference on global citizenship education since 2016. Additionally, in 2020, Korea, together with other like-minded countries, launched the Group of Friends of Solidarity and Inclusion with Global Citizenship Education in UNESCO. Now, more than ever, this group deserves broader partnership, and I count on your support. Distinguished guests and colleagues, we are humbled by the recognition that Korea is a model case that embodies the core values of the United Nations, peace, development, and human rights. It is well known that education was one of the key driving forces in Korea's development path. As UNESCO Director General Audrey Azoulay mentioned in her speech at the Transforming Education Summit, Korea was the first beneficiary country of UNESCO's massive literacy program 75 years ago. Now, as a vibrant democracy and flourishing economy, it is time for Korea to give back to the international community. With its advanced science and technology capabilities, Korea is well placed to help promote the global citizenship education in the digital transformation era. As a specific manifestation, President Yoon Suk-yeol has underscored Korea's willingness to close the digital divide at the UN General Assembly. Pundits and world leaders warn that 10 years down the road will be an unprecedentedly dangerous decade. The international community should redouble its efforts to find transformative solutions to interlocking challenges. In this context, we need to renew our recognition for the importance of global citizenship education, especially for our succeeding generations. The underlying philosophy of global citizenship education is that our future lies in the hands of the younger generations who are more educated and more tolerant, more inclusive, more diverse, and more creative than our generation, who are more empathetic and compassionate towards their fellow human beings than previous generations. Some of that may come with the idealism of the youth, but it also comes with their access to information, more importantly, digital information, about other people and places, with an understanding that their future is bound with the fates of other people, others on the other side of the world. On this closing note, let me wish you all the best, and I look forward to a successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your inspiring address. Now I would like to invite Ms. Stefanie Giannini, Assistant Director General for Education, UNESCO, for her opening speech. Due to her other duties, her speech was pre-recorded. On hearing the tragic news about the loss of hundreds of lives in South Korea over the weekend, Ms. Giannini wishes to convey her condolences before we show her pre-recorded opening remarks.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to open this 7th International Conference on Global Citizenship Education, co-organized with our long-standing great partner, the Asia-Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding. Well, the theme of this conference could not be more topical. We know that the COVID-19 pandemic has actually accelerated, amplified the digital revolution and amplified inequalities on the other side. Because the high dependence on digital technologies for learning, work, and life, and not connectivity and technology being accessible to all. But this revolution is not only a matter of connectivity and the urgent need to universalize it. It's equally an ethical one, about responsible digital citizenship and the duty we have to contribute to build this new notion and action for digital citizenship. Disinformation and the spread of violent and hateful narratives are spiraling online, as we all know. Education in this context has a critical role to play. It's about giving learners all the skills they need to critically analyze information, to be able to understand all different perspectives and also to distinguish between fake and truth. Recognizing all of these, UNESCO's member states requested the Secretariat, the organization, this year to update another milestone recommendation, the 1974, which was pioneering 50 years ago, principle on education for peace, education for international understanding. And take into account all the perspectives shared by many of you who kindly participated in this process, the first draft, finally, of the revised text was completed and sent to countries last September, very recently, for all comments we need. Global citizenship education stands at the heart of our response to equip absolutely all learners with the knowledge, skills, awareness, and values to act collaboratively and to really change. UNESCO held a conference, the very first ministerial conference on hate speech through education last year, together with the UN Office of the Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide. As part of the follow-up to the process, I'm pleased now to announce that UNESCO just finalized a guide for policymakers on this topic, addressing hate speech through education, which was developed with the office of Alice Nderito, my dear friend and colleague, the Special Advisor to the Secretary General. We also know how critical the role of teachers and educators is to guide learners in this pathway and to make learners becoming responsible citizens. To assist them, we are currently developing guidelines on global citizenship in digital age that will further complement and strengthen all the resources already available. These initiatives, all these initiatives are part of making education really, truly transformative. And this is the message which actually is coming out clearly, strongly from the summit convened by the Secretary General Antonio Guterres recently on the 19th September. And the vision statement notably calls for curricula and pedagogy to empower learners with the awareness, values, and attitudes they need. As you discuss over the next 2 days, I invite all of you to share your experiences, your visions, and your good practices. This is, after all, one of the main objectives of this annual gathering to advance the pedagogy and the practice of GCED. And I wish to thank, to conclude, the Republic of Korea for its steady support to APC-IU, and I wish all of you successful conference.
We thank Ms. Giannini for her thought-provoking remarks. Next will be a special congratulatory address. It is an honor to have His Excellency Mr. Kandga Muhammad Talha, Ambassador and Permanent Delegate of Bangladesh to UNESCO. Bangladesh is also a member of the Group of Friends for Solidarity and Inclusion with Global Citizenship Education. Please warmly welcome His Excellency Mr. Talha.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Annyeonghaseyo. It's an honor to be here amongst you. My sincere appreciation to the Asia-Pacific Center of Education for International Understanding, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Ministry of Education of the Republic of Korea, and UNESCO for organizing this international conference and hosting us here. I wish this conference a grand success with support from its group of friends and UNESCO. But let me first take a moment to express our heartfelt condolences to the victims and their families and friends of the Itaewon tragedy. Excellencies, dear participants, global citizenship education is a timeless and universal initiative that promotes values to build a peaceful, inclusive, forward-looking, resilient, and responsible societies. Without the values of global citizenship, we will fail to address the needs of every individual. The humankind today appears to be on a self-destruction mode, be it through military conflicts, denial of true democracy, climate change, cyber crimes and wars, unregulated use of new technologies, parochial views based on nation-state supremacy, race and gender bias, just to name a few. A vast majority of the population is being held hostage to the whims of a few. The common trend has been to look for quick fixes. We have been busy treating the symptoms and not the disease. Our memories are now short-lived as we move our focus from crisis to crisis without truly resolving one. The world has been painfully slow to realize that there is no quick fix, but thankfully there is a panacea to the global problems which lies in the development of individuals through education, global citizenship education. I am therefore particularly thankful that the APCERU has been working relentlessly to promote GCED and organize this 7th International Conference. While the recommendation concerning education for international understanding, cooperation and peace and education relating to human rights and fundamental freedom was adopted about 50 years back, the basic tenets of the document are universal. However, we now, through digital transformation, have additional cost-effective means for implementation. This is a unique opportunity, and we cannot afford to miss out on this. I, therefore, would also like to thank APCERU for selecting a most topical theme. We need more private-public partnership, industry-academia collaboration to develop befitting digital platforms that strengthens the value of human interactions in our existing education system. I hope, while reflecting on the theme, the discussants would also address the issue of how we could update the 1974 recommendation. The other generic issue which is often left out of focus is the issue of responsibility at all levels: global, regional, national, and also at individual level. We must not forget that with every right comes responsibilities. Distinguished participants, Bangladesh joined the group of Friends for Solidarity and Inclusion with GCED at the initiative of the Republic of Korea in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. We greatly appreciate Republic of Korea for its leadership in facing the global socioeconomic challenges and promoting peaceful, tolerant, and inclusive societies through GCED program. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the TESS summit, the UN Secretary General in his vision statement called for our political commitment to rethink the purpose and content of education for 21st century. We all politically committed ourselves to partner for transforming education. We all recognize the common challenges that we face, and we want to become part of the solution. I congratulate APCEIU and the Republic of Korea for reuniting us on this platform. Let us forge our intellectual, material, and political capacities to fulfill our common aspirations for a just, peaceful, and prosperous world for all. I thank you all. Kamsahamnida.
Your Excellency, thank you so much for your inspiring congratulatory address. Last but not least, Mr. Im Hyun-mook, Director of APCEIU, will address his welcoming remarks. Please warmly welcome Mr. Lim.
Distinguished participants, colleagues and friends, good morning and good afternoon. First of all, on behalf of all the members of APCEIU, I would like to express our deepest condolences to the victims and their families who lost their lives and were injured in Itaewon, Seoul last week. We are now in the national mourning period in Korea, and we will do our best to hold this conference in the spirit of empathy and solidarity, which are the very core values of GCED. Distinguished participants, I would like to welcome you and thank you all for joining us for this 7th International Conference on Global Citizenship Education, co-organized by APCEIU, Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Korea in partnership with UNESCO. I particularly thank Vice Minister of Education Sang Yun-jang, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Sang-hwa Lee, and UNESCO Assistant Director General Stefania Giannini for the opening remarks. I also thank Ambassador of Bangladesh to UNESCO, His Excellency Konkor Talla, for your insightful speech. Dear participants, as a UNESCO center established by the agreement between the government of Korea and UNESCO to contribute to the advancement of global citizenship education, APCEIU has organized this conference annually over the last 7 years. This year we are focusing on digital transformation in its positive and negative aspects. Specifically, we will be discussing how the positive side of digital technologies can be harnessed to make GCED reach out more learners and produce better learning outcomes. At the same time, we will be also discussing how GCED can tackle important issues emerging from digital transformation, such as digital gap and exclusion, online hate expressions, digital literacy, digital citizenship, digital and AI ethics, and changing human relationships and learning environment. Fortunately, this conference is being held at a time when UNESCO is revising its 1974 recommendation concerning education for international understanding, cooperation, and peace. As we all know, GCED is anchored in this recommendation because, in some sense, GCED can be regarded as a 21st century version of education for international understanding. So it is very timely that we have a special session on the revision of the 1974 recommendation during this conference. I hope this session will be of special interest to you, and you will join this session along with other sessions. Dear participants, thank you again for joining this conference, and look forward to the discussions today and tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lim, for your warm welcome and inspiring remarks. Before closing the opening session, I would like to share useful information for making your participation more interactive and engaging. First, for those of you registered in the online platform, I would like to remind you that there is a chat box available next to the live session screen. I highly encourage you to use this space to share your comments and questions. In addition to the chat box, our online conference platform also has online exhibitions, networking, and discussion boards available. We hope you actively participate in the conference in the next 2 days, not only by watching or listening to the sessions, but also through chat box, discussion board, exhibition, and networking available at our online conference platform. We will now conclude the opening session. Please stay with us for the next session, which is a moderated conversation on the digital transformation and the future of global citizenship education. We will see you at the next session after a short break. Thank you.